Hello guys, welcome back. We've got a ton of major updates to cover before tonight's game, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss any of this. But first, we need to talk about what is happening with the Indiana Fever because things are getting more confusing by the minute. Stephanie White has officially provided an update on the status of Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston, and the decision has left a lot of fans scratching their heads. According to White, Caitlin Clark will suit up and play today, but she won't play tomorrow. On the other hand, Aliyah Boston will sit out today's game but return tomorrow. Seriously, what is going on here? The Indiana Fever seem to be all over the place with these decisions, and fans are struggling to understand the logic behind it. Meanwhile, the WNBA continues to face heavy criticism, and the controversy has grown so large that Congress has reportedly stepped in seeking justice for Caitlin Clark. Yes, you heard that correctly. Congress is now involved. On top of that, Candace Parker has been speaking out. There's excitement surrounding the new Caitlin Clark sneakers, and several other major stories are making headlines today. We have a lot to cover, so let's jump right into it. One of the biggest questions is simple. If these players are healthy enough to play basketball, why not just let them play? Caitlin Clark and Aliyah Boston are only around 24 and 25 years old. Fans want to see them on the court, not sitting because of confusing scheduling decisions. The latest report says that Fever head coach Stephanie White announced Caitlin Clark will be available Wednesday against the Los Angeles Sparks, but will sit out Thursday against the Phoenix Mercury. Meanwhile, Aliyah Boston is ruled out Wednesday with a leg issue, but is expected to return Thursday. If she's healthy enough for tomorrow, many fans are wondering why she can't play today as well. It all feels unnecessarily complicated, and plenty of people believe the Fever are turning this into a much bigger issue than it needs to be. Before we discuss Congress stepping in, before we break down Candace Parker's comments aimed at the player haters, let's first hear exactly what Stephanie White had to say.
Just Aliyah Boston was obviously listed as questionable yesterday. How did she feel through shoot around, and do you have an update on her status for tonight?
Yeah, she just did some of the shooting. She's going to be out tonight, again with the back-to-back. And Caitlin are back-to-back. Caitlin's going to be active tonight. AB's not, and then they'll flip-flop tomorrow.
What key has been the most...
Whose extraordinary idea was this? Seriously, whose idea was this ridiculous decision? The Indiana Fever are making things way more complicated than they need to be, and fans are the ones paying the price. They have completely taken the excitement out of what should be a great game day experience. Come on, bro. If they're healthy enough to play, then let them play. If Aliyah Boston is cleared to suit up tomorrow, why can't she play today? That just doesn't make any sense to a lot of people watching this situation unfold. Honestly, it's frustrating. It's frustrating listening to Stephanie White explain these decisions, and it's frustrating trying to understand what the Indiana Fever medical staff is doing. Every update seems to create more confusion instead of giving fans clear answers. At this point, it feels like they're turning a simple situation into a complicated one, and it's becoming a real buzzkill for everyone following the team. Now, let's get into these new Caitlin Clark sneakers. Here it says, first look at Caitlin Clark's new yellow colorway of the Nike Caitlin 1. These are sick, I'm not gonna lie. These are fire, absolute fire. I want a pair of these. I like these way more than the blue colorway. You can see the goat warming up in them, with Brianne January always somewhere hovering in the background, but these are super fire. These are super fire, man. These new Caitlin Clark sneakers are off the hook. Off the hook. They pop more, they look more unique, they look cleaner. Much better than the blue and white, in my opinion. Honestly, this should have been the first colorway they revealed. This should have been the very first colorway they showed us. Now, the Indiana Fever put out a video of Caitlin Clark getting ready for today's game against the Los Angeles Sparks. So, she's wearing the yellow colorway against the Los Angeles Sparks. I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying the timing is interesting. Very interesting. Now, we've got to get into some real business. Some serious business is taking place. Okay, this is crazy. Congress is stepping in. Take a look at this. It says, I led my colleagues in demanding accountability from WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert after multiple attacks against Caitlin Clark, a player who is transforming women's sports and inspiring a new generation of young girls to participate in athletics. I'm putting the league on notice that if it keeps letting the violent targeting slide, they could find themselves facing a DOJ and EEOC crackdown for violating federal civil rights law. This is nuts, guys. This is insanity. And look, the letter is right here. It's addressed from members of the United States Congress to Kathy Engelbert. In the letter, they detail some of the incidents Caitlin Clark has been subjected to. It says Clark has been hip-checked, poked in the eye, and struck in the throat during games. According to the letter, these incidents go far beyond routine physical play. Yet, the WNBA and its officiating have too often failed to address these unacceptable incidents and hold players accountable. Recently, a player even appeared to endorse violence against Clark in a social media post. They also mentioned Tiffany Hayes, saying her post further fueled concerns about the culture surrounding these incidents. In addition, the letter says there are concerning reports suggesting that many of these attacks against Caitlin Clark may be racially motivated. It argues that as commissioner, Kathy Engelbert has an obligation to ensure every player competes in a safe and professional environment both on and off the court, free from violence, discrimination, and retaliation. The letter continues by stating that if discrimination or retaliation is creating a hostile work environment, it supports any appropriate investigation by the Department of Justice, the Department of Labor, or the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. If true, it says such conduct could constitute violations of federal civil rights law. This is crazy, guys. This is insanity. And look, the letter is right here. It's addressed from members of the United States Congress to Kathy Engelbert. The letter says it is imperative that the WNBA take meaningful action to address the issue. It also says the league has an extraordinary opportunity to inspire the next generation of female athletes, but that opportunity is undermined when its brightest stars are not adequately protected. It concludes by saying the fans deserve better, and so do the young girls who look to the WNBA as a model of sportsmanship and opportunity. And you can see the letter has been signed by multiple members of Congress. Listen, WNBA, y'all better get it together. I told y'all things were heading in the wrong direction when y'all were all over the news. I told you, Kathy Engelbert, you needed to get this under control. This is a nasty look, and it's a really bad look for the league.
Now, Candace Parker spoke about Caitlin Clark being ranked the 11th best guard. Absolute joke. Disgusting. Let's get into what Candace Parker had to say.
It's also kind of crazy, I wholeheartedly believe that there needs to be some rules with the WNBA players because this is getting out of hand. Caitlin Clark voted 11th best guard by WNBA players. That's crazy. Kelsey Plum finished 12th in player rank, but she be percolating all over your defense. You be chasing her downhill off screen.
It's unserious work.
It's kind of crazy. I wholeheartedly believe. I think people need to look at themselves in the mirror and realize, man, you got some insecurities if you sitting down and putting Caitlin Clark as the 11th best guard. Y'all need to go to a therapist and figure out what childhood issues you have. Because if you're sitting there and looking at yourself in the mirror and putting her as 11th best guard, and you're putting you as 8th best, come on. And Kelsey Plum is the 12th. Now maybe games because she's been hurt.
I agree wholeheartedly. For Caitlin Clark to be ranked 11th is ridiculous. For Kelsey Plum to be ranked 12th is ridiculous. There's a lot of racial stuff going on in this league. There's a lot of other things going on as well. It's disgusting. Take a look at this. Aliyah Boston and Candace Parker spoke about the Caitlin Clark-Alyssa Thomas incident. Yeah.
So
it's literally always intense though. I feel yes, just like you said about basketball, it was a flagrant 2, that should have never been done. You don't put your hand in someone's throat and damn near kick them on the floor. It's a basketball game. What are we doing? And so obviously that was the right call. And as for the death threats, it's so.
I've been on the other side of those, Aliyah. I've been on the side of some players' rough play. So if there's anybody that could probably speak about this and being roughed up and being disrespected and whatever, it's probably me. But in terms of taking it farther than that, it's just what are we doing?
I mean, some people do that after we don't cash their parlay, dude. I don't know. It's too much.
But I do think that we are talking about protecting players, and the league is not responsible for everyone making a comment. I'm not holding the league responsible for that. I'm holding the league responsible for not coming out and condemning it, because there's got to be some sort of way to come out and make it and not have to be so delayed in making just common sense statements.
Yeah, they're discussing the Alyssa Thomas situation. What Alyssa Thomas did was absolutely unacceptable. In my opinion, it crossed the line and went far beyond normal physical basketball. The punishment she received felt like nothing more than a slap on the wrist, and many fans believe it didn't match the seriousness of the incident. Personally, I think a suspension of 5 to 7 games would have sent a much stronger message about player safety and accountability. That's why this situation continues to spark so much debate across the basketball world. Now, with Congress reportedly getting involved, this story could take another major turn. We'll have to watch closely and see what happens next. I want to hear your thoughts as well. Drop your opinion in the comments below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with other basketball fans.